Now we're gonna go to the third question of the IGCSE paper of May, June 2013, paper 2, variant 1. Now we're looking at the question 3. We can read here, variables x and y are related to by the equation y equals to 10 minus 4 sine squared x, where 0 is 0x pi over 2. Given that x is increasing at the rate of 0.2 per second, 0.2 radians per second, find the corresponding rate of change of y when y is equal to 8. Now first, we find the derivative of 10 minus 4 sine squared x in order to find the gradient of the graph and when y is equal to 8. Now first we do this. Find the dy dx, which is just the derivative of this. Now to find the derivative, we add all derivatives of a constant is always 0, so we can ignore that. And the derivative of sine x is a cos x. But since this is a sine squared x, which is equal to this one right here, we use the chain rule. So we find the derivative of sine x first here, which is cos x, and then we write accordingly. Then we write the sine x again, and then since the power is reduced to 1, then it's no need to be written. And since this is from 2 to 1, we write the 2 at here, so that it shows that it's multiplied by 2, and then we can calculate this one to be negative 8 sine x cos x. We can always interchange cos x and sine x. And next we can ignore this equation for a while, and now we try to find the x when y is equal to 8. So we can input 8 at the equation right here. So we write like this, and then we transfer this to the left hand side, so we get something like this. And then we swap this to become like this, and at the same time we calculate it, and then we multiply everything by negative 1 over 4, and negative 2 times negative 1 over 4 is 1 over 2. Then we square root this, and the square root of 1 over 2 is equal to the square root of 1 and over the square root of 2, which is 1 over square root 2, and we rationalize this to be square root 2 over 2. Then the only radian which matches this kind of answer is actually 45 degrees, which is also equal to, which represents pi over 4. So x is equal to pi over 4. Now we come back to this equation right here, the derivative of 10 minus 4 sine squared x, and we input the x here to find the gradient. Now we just input sorry, wrong writing, and then 8 sine pi over 4 cos pi over 4, and then we find the sine of pi over 4, which is square root of 2 over 2, and the cosine of pi over 4 is also square root 2 over 2. Then we calculate this to be negative 4. You know how to calculate this, of course. Then we use this formula, use this method right here to find the change of y in respect to time, which is second. And then we use this. Then Then this is the dy over dx, which is negative over 4. The dx over dt is actually 0.2, since this 0.2 represents the change of y, the change of x, in relations to second. So we input 0.2 right here, and then we get negative 0.8. Now this is the answer. We can check from the mark scheme right here, right? We get 1 mark for this. We actually get 2 marks for this. This is like equivalent. And then there's an attempt to find x when y is equal to 8, so this deserves actually 1 mark. Now, and there's x is equal to pi over 4, so this is 1 mark. And then we use this formula right here. This is 1 mark. And then this is negative 0.8. And negative 0.8, this is also 1 mark. So we just mark it 1 mark. So we get in total 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 marks. 6 marks right here.